dream girl came into my life. To protect her anonymity, I shall call her Norman. The reason Norman was different was because she was the one who chatted me up, and not the other way around. This had literally never happened before. I was always the one doing the chasing. And it wasn't a good idea, because whenever I chased a woman, I always ended up falling flat on my face. So it was an amazing feeling to feel wanted. For the first time in my life, it didn't bother me that I was disabled, because it was clear that it didn't matter to her either. We just liked each other for who we were. I think that most people would like someone like that. I first met Norman in a coffee shop. She was carrying lots of shopping, so she asked if I could look after it all while she ordered her drink. At the time, I thought she'd asked me because I looked hot and attractive. It was only months later that she revealed that she'd chosen me because she knew I couldn't run away with her expensive new dress quickly. But we started chatting and we hit it off instantly. She told me all about herself, and I did the same. We sat there for hours just talking to each other. It's still one of the best days of my life because everything just seemed so perfect for a change. The relationship just grew from there. We chatted on the phone every day, and I looked forward to seeing her again immediately each time we had been out on a date. Oh, and Norman had a fantastic pair of tits. One thing that me and Norman loved to do together was exploring new cities on holiday. Of course, whenever we booked a hotel, I always got asked if I wanted the accessible room. This question has always puzzled me. I mean, I was going around asking to stay in the inaccessible room. Surely, by their very nature, all hotel rooms are accessible. Or am I missing something? Does every hotel have a floor of inaccessible rooms for guests who like a bit more of a challenge before they get some sleep? Do these floors have cleaners along the corridor who are waving Henry Hoovers in your face, trying to block your path? Is it like the Crystal Maze? And is there an assault course made up of random furniture thrown all over the place? Mattresses piled on top of each other. Kettles full of boiling water ready to tip all over you. And a Corby trouser press that is finally being used for something. Is Lenny Henry standing at the end of the corridor like the end of level boss on Super Mario Brothers? And let's face it, even if you did survive all of this, I can guarantee you that, no matter how many different ways you tried it, the stupid keycard still wouldn't work in the door. One of my favourite things to do when me and Norman were staying in hotel rooms was to write notes and hide them for other guests to find. These are some of my best notes I have left. The Wi-Fi password summons him. If you are reading this, I am stuck in the wardrobe and did not find Narnia. And, my personal favourite, you are a very deep sleeper. I enjoy watching you. Sometimes, if I was feeling extra mischievous, I even helped the cleaners out by telling them about the dead body in my room. I'd love to tell you that me and Norman lived happily ever after, but life is never that simple. As a disabled bloke, I've learned how to survive on my own in this world, and I guess I was frightened of letting Norman get too close to me. I started to argue with her about silly little things that didn't matter. I started to cancel dates with her. And, worst of all, whenever she wanted to talk about it, I just pretended my batteries were dead. Eventually, Norman couldn't take any more, and I don't really blame her. I pressed the self-destruct button on my own relationship. I went from being the best I've ever felt to the worst I've ever felt in a few moments. It crushed me so badly. But when the world is telling you that you are different, then it's hard to accept that you're not. And this has always been my underlying problem. It's very hard to feel confident when you live in a society like that. So now I spend most of my time in the coffee shop where the relationship all started, hoping that someone else will come into my life. One of the staff is very attractive, but to be honest, it isn't really going that well.
Hello, how are you today?
I'm fine, thanks.
Sorry, I didn't realise that you were,
So charming. Who taught you to write? Captain Hook?
It says, how can I help you today?
My hearing is perfectly fine too. Or it was until just now.
Would it be better if I talked like this?
Would speaking normally be in your repertoire?
Yeah, sorry. That's a good device, isn't it? Like that, Professor Blows. What's his name? I always forget. Is it Brian Hawking?
You mean Stephen Hawking?
Yeah, that's the one. I bet you're as clever as him, aren't you?
Surprisingly, I'm not. I wonder if anyone ever asks Hawking if he's as funny as Lost Voice guy though. Still, I am smarter than some people. This conversation is so predictable that I can use all my pre-typed answers.
You're not from around here, are you?
Was it my accent that gave it away?
I'm sorry, no, I just meant that I haven't seen you here before.
I was joking. I do this for a living, you know.
That's really good that you can still have a sense of humour, despite
the fact that I'm still waiting for a drink. No. Anyway, if I had known this was going to be an interview, I would have dressed a lot smarter.
Yeah, sorry, I can be such a chatterbox.
It's not a competition.
Right, what can I get you to drink?
I'm glad you finally asked. What do you think runs out first? My patience or my iPad battery? I have to go soon, because this isn't even my iPad. I stole it earlier today, and I don't want to get caught. It is lucky it had some jokes on it, to be honest. But I do have to point a few things out before I have to leave you. I hate that we have so many politically correct words to describe disabled people now. When I went to school, I honestly went to a school with spastics in its name. They certainly knew how to make us feel good about ourselves. Now it's all special needs, special schools, Special Olympics. I don't know what the hell is so special about me. That is why it always alarms me when I hear about special forces going to war. Having a disability isn't all bad, though. It turns out that disabled people can get away with anything. I pushed a little child out of the way recently. I wasn't even in a hurry. I just wanted to test out my theory. It got worse for the kid when his mother shouted at him for not looking where he was walking. I am used to people getting out of my way when I'm walking down the street though. It's almost as if they are afraid they will catch something from me. I got straight to the front of the queue in accident and emergency recently as well. There was so many people with blood everywhere that I started to imagine that I was Moses and I was parting the Red Sea. I also got out of jury service this year by playing the disability card. Well, I said I was a member of UKIP, which is the same as having a mental disability. In fact, I played the disability card that many times now that I've made an actual disability card. If I want to sit down on a busy train, I pull out the disability card. If I want tickets to a sold-out music concert, I pull out the disability card. If I see an attractive girl who is way out of my league, but obviously has a conscience, and who would probably sleep with me out of sympathy, I pull out more than just the disability card. Ladies and gentlemen, I have been Lost Voice Guy. If you find my voice, please contact me as soon as possible on my social media. I hope you had fun laughing at a disabled man. If you want to take a selfie with me, I'll see you out by the merchandise stand in about 5 minutes. Because I'm an attention-seeking bastard. I'll also be selling some of my Lost Voice Guy t-shirts, books, and DVDs featuring my previous Edinburgh shows, trying to make back a bit of the money that the Tories have taken away in benefits. Please come and see me if you want to say hello. You've been a fantastic audience. Even if you hadn't, I can't really change what I say at this I hope you enjoy the rest of your night. Goodbye.